Let me recall. Okay. All right, so let it go again, tag. What date is today? Today is the 12th, right?
Yes, the 12th.
Okay, so 09/2/25 from release. Okay. Now, let's go back to the question. If you look, right, Amara? If you look, you are put yourself in that position, right, as an engineer that about to, like responsible for the release. Change management has approved your change, right? And these are things that we're going to be discussing right after this class. Change management, I mean, right after your topic. Change management has approved your change. Your change has been approved. Your change has been justified. And now it is time for you to deploy. So what a release is, anything that go into production, you release into production. But not every day we push code to production. You understand? Do not tell anybody on interview that you push code to production every day. They're just going to end that interview for you. You understand? So Azure methodology, some people do it every month. You understand? Every month, the first of every month. Some people do it the last Saturday in the month. Some people do it the last Sunday in the month. Some people do it the third week within the month. It all goes by the Azure Sprint Cycle, right? Because people developing in 2 weeks, and then the third week, that release. So you coming out to deploy a code, right, Amara? You came here. This is a new release that you prepare already, right? You prepare a new release. It passes through everything, right? It passes through the process, the release management process, and now you're going out to deploy. You understand? You're going out to deploy your code. Let me scroll it back here. And then you're going out to deploy your code. So you went and then you click on your new release, Amara. Let me just give you 1 second. Let it open. I don't want the pipeline. I want my code repository. Yeah. Okay. So Amara, you went and click on your new release, right? So you came here and then you're looking for your tag. You see your tag here, right? Now, you say I'm deploying the tag. So you click on the tag. This is the tag that you want to deploy. You understand? Just bear in mind, I did this purposely on the main branch, right? But there is no code here. You understand? Just get in mind that you deploy, right? And then you hit the deployment, boom, and then you trigger this. The code started running. You understand, Amara? When the code ran, you notice that it failed, right? There was some hot fix that needed to be done. Some version that was in your packet.json file does not correspond. It have deprecated, and then all of those shenanigans, right? You have to deal with it. So what we are saying is that in order to make production active, because you are in the process of deployment, which your company might be integrating, might be implementing the strategy of what we call blue-green deployment or canary deployment, right? Meaning you are already switched traffic from your green to your blue. You understand? So traffic now, meaning the people, the customer now, they are no longer seeing that application online, right? Because you're about to release. But guess what? It failed. And you do not want any downtime. The only downtime that you're experiencing is when you're releasing. What will you do since you have to go through 5 to 6 hours to do hard fix? You understand? What we are trying to say is go back in your setting, GitLab, we might not have integrated any setting here right now, but this is the setting that you find in real time. You go back to the settings, you click on what? What date is date? Look at this date. What day it says, right? August 25th, 2025, right?
Right.
And then when you click on this, it does say something, right? It says something because let's see how we can be able to okay this for you to see what it says here. I didn't get a readme on this, but I did edit it and get a description. But then, okay, so we can get it on the tag here, right? So you went back to August. You click on August, right? And then August says mean stable version, right? This was your stable version. And then the description says is a new. This is the one that you released and it failed. So what will you do? You got to come back and take this and deploy this version. You understand? Because this was the production, this was the production version that is a stable version, meaning this is what is in production or what was in production currently. So you have to roll back to this previous version. So that is the process of rollback. So when you're rolling back the application, you're reverting your application or infrastructure to a previous stable version. When the current release introduces failure, you understand? When the current release that introduces failure, which is the 25th, 9.025, the 9.12 release, right? That was the one that experienced the failure or bug. That's what we call bug. When you see something, we call it bug right away. We got to create a fix for it. But that fix is going to take you at least 5 hours because it's unstable. That's what we call instability in your release. You got to roll back to that previous version that is already working, Amara. You don't have to do any fix on it again. You understand? You just got to push it. So that's the process we call rollback. So that's how rollback works. But mind you, again, when you are working with Kubernetes, rollback in Kubernetes also says the same thing, but it goes by implementing command, not through GitLab CI/CD pipeline. It's by implementing another command script from the GUI. So in Kubernetes, that's what rollback means. But the terms for rollback is reverting your application or infrastructure to the previous stable release. That's the process of rollback.
Okay. Still.
Any question? Yeah, I'm listening to you, Amara.
I say understood.
Okay. Okay, do we have Kona here now? And Benu? Yeah, Imara, your hand is up.
Yeah, to add up to the question that was asked, so in a rollback process, is there a command that is used, or it's just about abandoning the current state, the current version that was pushed, and just like deploying our stable version? Or is there any way to like clear the, are we going to like clear the cache or
No.
do anything different, like just to allow the stable version to be deployed smoothly, or it just the terminology is just for understanding?
We are not clearing the cache, right? Because we're working with pipeline, right? Remember, each pipeline is handled by an agent, right? So that agent deal with the cache on its own, right? It's the ability or the capability that the agent uses to heal itself. So you're not clearing the cache. You just go to your previous release as I show here, right? And then you push it. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. All right. do we have Coda here so we can put Coda on the hot seat, and then after that, then we'll jump back to our topic. Coda.
Talking about hot seat, I want making the people disappearing.
Insurance policy.
But the thing is, I mean, for me, there's no need to get necessary because it's like you have to go through something. So the better you prepare for it, it'll be good. So
Lincoln said he want to come back on the hot seat so you can
you go, huh?
Yeah.
Y'all caught me unaware, but anyways, I don't have problem with that. I don't have problem with that. But George, the way you think, everybody don't think that. Some people, they want to come and do their best. And then if they are not prepared, they don't want to come. So human being think differently.
Yeah, but
Hey.
for me, I prefer, doing it beyond door where, all my friends there, we laugh at one another, that build my confidence before I can get out there. Because if they're the practice, they see me the soccer player can go, right? Every day, you think, well, practice.
Yeah, Coda. Coda, I was about to text you, say you on mute. Coda, are you good now to start? Are you okay? Coda had an accident, guys. Yeah.
I was doing some cooking.
Sorry, man.
Check it out. If you're calling me on that wrong, I'm not looking at you, so I just came to just let you know.
Okay.
Connor, how are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Cool.
Everything all right.
Welcome back, Connor. Thank God, at least.
Glad to have you back.
My question to you, Coda, is: are you okay for us to put you on the hot seat?
I know.
I give you the chance right now.
If you can
Make
do me
that
tomorrow, I'll be
decision.
glad. So if you can do me tomorrow, first before we start, I'll be happy though.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
But thank you. I just.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Where is Benu? Benu says she ain't doing no hot seat.
See, it's actually good though. We at least will get all our correction locally,
Yeah, guys.
among ourselves that then
This is
to
a
go
wonderful thing.
on the real seat and blunder.
Mm-hmm. I have a question for you guys. I sent a recording. I didn't want to just send all the recordings that I have, so I've been sending one at a time. So you can digest it, right? And then send the other one. For those of you that played that recording, it was an interview process, right? Technical interview. How do you think about it?
In my opinion, I think you did extremely. You did. You boss it. You just. You're professional already. So I was just looking at it. I mean, I watched it about 2 times that night when I was at work. It was just looking like we could do the same thing easy way like that. I said, but no, anyway, the AB man got over 10 years experience in the thing. So the way you answered, you just never. But I know you got that job. Even the interviewer was like, the guy is more qualified, in my opinion, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So that interview process, it was for I think a lead DevOps engineer position or something. But then during that interview process, what I noticed a lot of things, right? I noticed that the guy was taking the question from Google and asking the question. Yeah. And he didn't know what could be the response. And then after some time, then he could leave. And so they were embarrassed at some point in time. And on everything, reached out because sometimes after interview, they give option to send letter or the full interview, they send you letter apart from hiring manager reaching out to you. So I received 2 letters from them stating that, the interview went very well. And at some point in time, they had to take question. The people they can admit it. Not everybody, the people they admit things when they say something to do it. I mean, when they do something, they will say it to you. So that interview, what I want you guys to focus on is not really how I'm answering the question. It's the confidence, right? Because that's one of the things that push you for a job.
You beat the
How you
guy.
feel? Yeah, Kosi, go ahead. What you say?
I say you beat him. It's like he's afraid when you answer the question. He's like confused.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? Because this interview, you're gonna do it on video, right? You're gonna be interacting with you guys on videos. So your confidence, do not allow, because these guys, when they come to break you. And be honest with you, when they come to break you. And guys, let me be honest with you. Many people today do not like a new joiner in their company. Many technical guys, you know why? Because they want to be the only asset to that company. So when they see people, especially when they see a black man, they say, damn, who the black man are saying is a devil engineer? You understand? I'm not saying it in any racist way, but it's just how it works. They want to come to destroy you. They want to make sure they break you down. I'm being honest with you. I've seen this multiple times. Yeah. Even to our Indian brothers there, they want to come and break you down. Guy, I was saying you guys an interview that I had. It was my first interview. No, my second interview. It was 9 Indian guys, man, that sat in that office to interview me.
What they do?
The interview was so hard until I told them, guy, let's call this a day.
Oh.
Yeah, and I shut my assistant off because those guys give me a whiteboard, right? I don't know the freaky application they use in the environment. They tell me to find certain error in that application. After that again, then they took me to another. It was too much. I'm like, with all the Indians guys, I'm not even sure that I'm going to get a job from you guys, right? Then why should I go through all the process? Yeah.
Take it back to school.
Yeah. So all of this process, like, I want you guys to learn from it, that confidence, man. You need to have confidence within yourself. I'll be honest with you. You will apply to some places, right? They will send you email. Oh, after carefully looking, some of those things are just automated, right? They have an automated response that is set up. Any application that passes this stage, they don't even look at it. But then because they have exceeded, they already get the people, they just say, they just release that to you. And then when you receive it, you just feel that it just one human being sit down and just grab that letter and send it to you, right? No, it's just a template they are using. But again, do not be deterred, when you see these things. And keep applying. Be motivated more to apply, keep applying over and over. Because guys, your job is right there. Once it hit, no waste of time, you're going to get it. So I just want to say that, just remain focused, go through this process. And we are here to make you strong. When it comes to any interview, always be open, so that we can critique you, because that's the best thing you're going to be doing for yourself.
You know what I want to comment?
Yeah.
But
The very
maybe
best.
that interview, you got a job, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
Yes, the 12th.
those I got recently. I'm going to send you guys that interview too as well. My interview, I know for those of you that work with Medtronics, my interview with Medtronics, I had an interview with Medtronics again for a lead principal devil engineer. If you listen to that interview, you'll be like, wow. So many of the people that get in the lead position, they don't really know something, but they get in it because they're doing repetitive tasks, right? Over and over and again, right? Those things, you now try to control the interview, because when you control your interview, you make your life easy. Because if you do not control the interview, you allow these guys to control it for you, you are finished. Have you seen an interview that the interview and then you sweating, but then the air conditioner is on, and then it's cool, but then you sweating. Yes.
I think we will experience it. We experience it here, but we will.
Because you would know that, yeah, damn, this is not easy. But I'm telling you, you will get there. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay.
So if for every job you apply for in DevOps, is it like 2 interview? You got talk. I hear you talk about technical
Very
interview and
spicy.
another interview too.
Yeah. So the life cycle like this, right? I mean, in the engineering job, not just DevOps, right? Even Linux system administration, system engineer, cloud engineer, everything. The first interview, we call it handshake, right? Getting to know about the job, in theory. It's the recruiter, the recruiter going to call you and say, oh, Kona, you applied to this position, I think we like your experience. I mean, we saw your experience, we like you, based on your experience, we want to have more conversation with you. That's a process we call handshake. So they call you, and then you're spending 15 minutes on the phone talking, right? They ask you high level. What you know about this? As they're asking you, they're writing it down, right? Anything you're saying, they are not writing everything you're saying word for word, but those tools that you say you have used, because they got certain questions that they are being told to ask you, those recruiters. You remember, they are not technical people. You understand? So the question that they have, they ask you all those questions. You say, yes. Are you a U.S. citizen? Yes. Are you a green card holder? Yes. Do you want sponsorship? Whether yes or no? What technology have you worked with? In DevOps. I work with AWS. I work with Azure. I work with Jenkins. I work with Terraform. You explain, right? Yeah. And do you have an experience on Linux? Oh yes, I have experience. I used to be a Linux system admin before. Then it's everything they write it down. So from there, they take your application, your profile now that they have built, they send it over to the hiring manager. Sometimes it takes like a week, right? And then the hiring manager will contact you. Not the hiring manager again, but the same recruiter will reach out to you and then schedule a Zoom call with you and the hiring manager. Sometimes go for like 45 minutes. Less is 30 minutes, or most 45 minutes to an hour. And then you sit with the hiring manager. When you sit with the hiring manager, be prepared that you're going to go technical. Do not just say because it's a hiring manager, it's not going to be technical. Hiring manager can be more technical even than the technical interview. So now in that process, you make sure you study at least your technical stuff, knowing like 30 to 40%, right? And then your soft skills. Because when he asks you, when have been a time in your life have you had a disagreement with your manager? And how did you resolve it? Guys, if you don't know, that question is a tough one to answer. You understand? And how do you settle conflicts in your team? How do you collaborate with your colleagues to get things done? How do you prioritize duty and responsibilities? Those are soft skills, right? That they want to hear you saying because you say you've been working. Nobody looking for the best English in you. They're looking for the key points. You understand? You are looking for the key points. So you have to cut it in a way that you will say it does not require plenty talking. You understand? You say these things to the manager. That convincing. Then he start asking you, do you know about this? Do you know about that? Do you know about this? How you work with this? How you work with that? When you finish, and when you saying these things, be smarting, right? And when he asking you any question outside of your activities, be as a people-going person, people center, right? Oh, I play soccer, man. I sometimes Saturday, I go bounce. If you got children, I take my kid out. Back to backyard, we play soccer. Because these people love. They not just want you to just focus on job, right? You should have a life outside of job. Those are things your hiring manager want, because remember, he ain't going to be the one managing you, right? So you have to know what you like and what you don't like. Then you express it in a way that you're not going to say, okay, you're being very unfriendly, right? You're not going to talk because your tone of voice puts you in trouble in the interview process. You have to be very careful to choose your words wisely. So you talk, smile, you'll have a conversation, out of the box conversation sometime. And then after that, he likes you, he likes your personality, and then he will schedule you again. The recruiter will reach out to you right after your interview, maybe this after 10, 15, or 20 minutes or 1 hour, somebody the next day. Say, okay, the hiring manager say it was very nice, and he want to move you to the next round, which is the technical phase. And then she will tell you, so the technical phase is 3 hours. You understand? It's 3 hours. Do you want me to call it into per day, or you want me to do it one shot? For me, I always tell them to do it one shot. Meaning I just sit on that call for 3 hours. That 3 hours, before you bob your eye, you're in 2 hours. So you go there, you meet with the people. Some of the technical team, as soon as you get on the call, you introduce yourself to them. Some of them don't realize you don't introduce yourself. They just start bombarding you with questions. Yeah, I don't think that they are mean though. It just that's their style, right? That's how they choose to interview. So some of these interviews, Kona, it take 4 rounds, right? It take 2 rounds, it take 3 rounds. It varies. You understand? It varies. But no technical interview, no devil engineer interview ever take 1 round. No, it's not possible. No engineering interview will take 1 round. Then I mean that person, just wanted to just occupy that position overnight.
Yeah, I think what they do is I think maybe select the best 3, and then from the best 3 they have to select the maybe just the best out of the 3.
From my experience, right? Because I do interview, on my 2 jobs. I do that. Media for DevOps Cloud, Databricks engineer. So at US Bank, in my team, because I've been opportune to interview, to help to recruit almost about 5 persons since I joined US Bank. Since I joined the bank. So we have 15 candidates that apply for that position. 15. You understand? And it were 2 positions. We needed 2 persons to occupy that position. So the 15 candidates, the recruiters send their resume to us. The recruiters also part of US Bank, right? So send a resume to us. We had a session. I went, my manager went through the resume. And then in the resume, what we were looking for somebody, that's a family-oriented person, that's according to what my manager wanted. That's what he told me. He needs somebody that's a Christian. You understand? He needs somebody, that people can talk to from your past history, what you've been doing. He don't need 40 individual contributors, somebody that just work by themselves, right? They don't want to work in a group. He don't need that person. So we went through the resume word for word, and we read the resume, analyzed it, and then we took 5, the best 5 out of those 15. You understand? The best 5 technology, what we're looking for is Terraform. What we're looking for is monitoring experience, Splunk. If not open to learn, what we're looking for a Linux system, somebody that have idea on Linux and Windows, but Linux is preferred. We were looking for AWS. We were looking for Azure, but either one will still take you. So we fetch out, and then we brought in the best 5. And then we schedule interviews for the best 5 with the hiring manager. And the hiring manager, he told us this is how the interview went. The hiring manager referred those people, the 5 people, now to technical round. So when we interviewed them technically, and then we went back, we said this person will interview, the person will interview, but based on what we like as a team, this is the person we want. You understand? So during my time, I interviewed a guy called Ali. I interviewed a guy called Dean. Yeah, 2 white guys. And those guys never had a very concrete work experience. This guy used to be a DevOps engineer. He said he used to be a DevOps engineer for his church. Yeah, right? Yeah, a cloud and DevOps engineer for his church. I'm telling you, he gave us his job description. He told us blank. He got 3 children, he got this one, So when I saw that he was a person that was very friendly, because of when I was asking him question, he was someone that waiting to learn, right? He want to learn, even though he does not know all, but he's open to learn and to take more tasks to be able to do because he want to learn. I said, based on this, we're going to take this person. And then the other guy called Ali, he had a work experience, but not much. But then he's also people centered. He always like to push to go on, beyond and above to get something done. He's very collaborative. So those were things that we're looking for. And then we had the other 3 people. They were very technical. Until the interview, they were talking until, they didn't know what to say. Yeah. But then it was very hard for you to work with those kind of people because they were all individual contributors. When you ask them, how do you get job done in terms of collaboration? Oh, for me, I love to prioritize my tasks that I'm working on first before I can, respond to my coworker. which that's not bad, right? But you have to deal with priority. What if your coworker have a higher priority? So will you like to get done with yours first before you go to them? Those are red flags, right? That tell you that this person is not a team oriented. So we kind of fetch out all of those things, and then we were able to reach out after we told the manager. The manager said, okay, when he concluded, he said, okay, I'm going to hire this person. I'm going to extend offer to them. You understand? Conditional offer, many pending background check, right? And then the last one we did, it was with my own brother, brother and friend. I did interview him. Yeah, and also again, for that one was the one shot. I was just going directly for me to just tell the manager, just go and get him on the boat. I would not even care about 5 people, 10 people that even enter because I was just waiting to crash everybody and tell them say the person did not make it because I already made up my mind. And it just happened just that way. So that's the process, guys. That's the process. I know in this country, people say it's not about who know you, but it's about who know you. I'll be honest with you. It's not like you're going to browse somebody, right? But if you are somebody that's doing well, if somebody sees your potential, and then you apply for something tomorrow, and that person in the ability to hire you, they will hire you quick. Yeah, it happened to me before when I came in this country. The first era, the second job, third job I did was the state of Massachusetts. This guy just took because he knew my father from back home. I took my car to the mechanic. When he heard my last name, when the guy was giving me a receipt or calling my name to put on the something, he said, "Who's your father?" I said, "Ben." He said, "That's my friend." "Where you work?" I said, "I just came." He said, "How long you been here?" "Where you work?" I said, "I work." He said, "Forget about that job. Come tomorrow. Let me take you to hire you." He took me straight to the state of Massachusetts, the hiring manager, and he hire him. And the only thing they asked me for my resume. And that was it. So those things happen. So let us be prepared, because I'll be honest with you, some of us here, when we have the opportunity, the rare opportunity, when we see that, okay, this is where this person needs to go, we put you there. The highest thing is to get a job. The highest thing is to get that job. Because when you get a job, you're going to learn. You're going to be forced to learn. The same way you got the other job, and that you learn it, you got to be forced. You're going to be forced to learn a job. Because that's the only thing that you're going to be learning for you to get paid for. So those are all, things that we have to take into consideration. Yes. Those are all things that we have to take into consideration. Any question to that? Some of you, your first job, when you get it, you'll be afraid. Yeah. Even you go in the office, you'll be worried. You just feel they come and fire you. You just feel like you don't know anything. But they won't even be thinking that way, because they know that, first of all, they hire you because you are a professional. They don't hire you because there are so much skill set that you have something. No, they don't pay you for the job because they pay you per hour of what you bring. They hire you for your skills, your education, your everything, your qualification, even your performance in the interview determine the bonus that you're supposed to get. You see, they may perform in the interview very good. We're gonna get here a bonus. Tell you, by accepting the job, other company will get 20,000 upfront. So there are a lot of things that that we need to put ourselves together to learn. But like I said, technical stuff. My final urge to you is always focus on the logic and the concept. Do not memorize. Because when you know these things, concept, you know it for good. Okay?
Okay.
Any question? So Benu is not ready today. I'm not seeing Benu here. Yeah. Benu is not. Benu say I'm not ready for hot seat today. Benu is not ready today. So class, I have a project, right? I have a project that I want us to start working on. And that project, we're going to be using, as usual, we're going to be using GitLab, as usual. And that project is, we're going to be going through different stages of deployment to deploy our application from dev environment to production environment. Yes. So that project, I want us to start setting up the environment right now. But before we set up the environment, I want you guys to tell me so far, ask question. Are you okay with GitLab? Is there any blocker you have on GitLab? Is there any question that you have on GitLab, like things that you don't understand how to do? But remember, your focus on the job is not to build GitLab. It's not to build GitLab from scratch. It's to understand the key areas that you need to go in GitLab to get your job done. You understand? To understand the setting of GitLab, the build process, the secure process, the deploy process of GitLab. Those are the major points that you have to focus on in GitLab. Because GitLab, that is not just a repository. It is a project. It is a CI/CD embedded tools. You understand? It is a CI/CD embedded tools that you use. So you don't need to worry much about those things. Know how to use it. The same thing go with GitHub and Jenkins. Jenkins is used to deploy the continuous integration tools, same as GitLab. Okay, so before we get into our project, make sure your VS Code is open. Make sure your VS Code is open. Make sure you have your GitLab project open so that we can go through with that. So the floor is open. 2 minutes. If there is no question, then we can start to execute the very first thing in our project, where we're going to be putting our code. We're going to be creating a branch and pushing it directly to the remote repository.
For me, I would say it's not a question, but I would prefer if we could just do a quick review before we go to the project, if that's okay with everybody. You don't have to go over the entire process, but then
Review the servers. Okay.
key points that you think we should, jot down and can look up of.
That makes sense. How many of you leaning to that side?
As I said,
Honest.
review is always okay.
I tell you, I grew this.
Somebody was saying something?
I was speaking and somebody spoke behind me by like the person was talking, I think on the back end or something. I say review is always okay.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to be leaning on review. My screen is already shared, right? You guys can see my screen, right? My screen is shared. You guys can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's look at the overview of GitLab, right? From the dev lifecycle pattern. So the difference between GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab combined is the same CI/CD tools. You understand? / version control system. You'll be hearing the new GitHub. You'll be hearing the new Bitbucket. You'll be hearing the new Cycle CI. You'll be hearing the new GitLab. It's just the same. That's what we call SCM. When you hear the word SCM, it's called source code management. You understand? Source code management. CI/CD, we all know what CI/CD means, right? Continuous integration, continuous deployment. You understand? Continuous integration and continuous deployment. Now, what do we mean continuous integration, continuous deployment? If I came to build, I go to pipeline, focus on what's going to happen here, guys. I'm going to click this pipeline. What you guys see here, we have validate, right? We have plan. We have apply, right? And then we have the scroll. Now, I'm going to click on this branch again. Let me open my VS Code. Terminal. All right, so this is not screenshot anybody. It's just me opening my GitLab, right? I mean my VS Code. So I just bash it in Git. Now, we're focusing on the DevOps lifecycle pattern, continuous integration and continuous deployment. Now, guys, this is a code, right? If I say these status, nothing to commit, I'm just going to add just new line, right? 1, 2 new line, and I save it. And I say git status. I mean, it will say something to commit, right? Because I add a new line. Git add. I'm going through all the process of git. And I say git commit, right? -m, make commit meshes. I says updated SRC. And that 2 line added, so that's why I say in session 2, right? And I say git push. Oranging, I push it to my feature branch, right? Why is not going, guys? It's stopped. Can somebody tell me the problem?
You need to add stera at the end of feature, I think.
Thank you. I intentionally try to just put that there so we can debug.
So what was the problem?
Oh, see?
Yeah,
What's
so
what-
he need to complete the branch. he only write a feature, he need to add data because the branch where he's working is feature/data.
Oh yes, okay.
Yep. Yep. That's a git push. Origin. Feature Terra, right? And I push it. So look here, guys. Since I push this, what do you see here? Did I click on anything?
No,
No.
running.
This is the process of continuous integration. It is building our artifacts. The code that you saw in GitLab, that's why it's building here. It's packaging the code, meaning it's integrating all of the changes, right? And it's building that artifact. Once that build step completes, what's going to happen? Because there's an IAC pipeline, it's using what? Terraform. When that build process complete, it's going to validate it. When the validation process complete, it's going to send it over to plan. Plan will tell us this is how your infrastructure will be when it gets deployed. That's the process of continuous integration.
My gosh. You should have no click on this kid. Oh my gosh.
So what do we see here, guys?
How?
Success.
Can somebody tell me? Validation is successful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Therefore, what happened?
It's built.
Job succeeded, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. And then guess what? We're going to go back to the pipeline and see. Let me refresh because I went back, so it's in its but it's not supposed to be in its state. Did that trigger anything here? It moved here automatically, right? So we'll click here. It's going to run our plan. Look at that, guys. What do we see? Guys,
That's the
what
step.
I want somebody to volunteer and put a hand up to interpret this plan for us.
I can do that.
Let somebody volunteer to do that. And I want you to share your screen and pull this up and do that. Yes, Amara?
Yeah.
Share your screen and pull this up and do it. Let me stop sharing mine. Are you a hacker?
Me? No,
Let us
I'm
know.
not.
I almost said
Which screen I'm sharing? I don't know which one I'm sharing, so.
Like it might be
Man, like ethical hacker.
No, but that's not ethical hacker. He's a black hacker.
Hey, ya put it one that'll scare you out.
Share the screen. Which one? Sure. Absolutely sure. Okay. I think I'm sharing the right screen now.
Mm-hmm. Go to that pipeline.
I think I need to leave my. Okay, this is it. We are working the IC, right? HTTP.
Yeah, that's the project we're working on.
Okay.
Put them on one all the way down.
So basically what we're looking at here, we are using Terraform to you know create our resources using GitLab and Terraform. So firstly, the first line says that it's running with a GitLab runner. There's the runner ID right here, we can see here. And it start to install, it execute the image with HashiCorp Terraform. This is the version of Terraform that was specified. And then scroll way down. And here it's preparing the environment. It's getting the source from GitLab repository, which is configured to grab all of the code or the information that we need from that repository. It grabbing the source. There's the source ID right here. It's fetching the changes that was made. So basically, the changes that you make, it fetch all of the changes. It initialized empty repository, which is cloned, and then create a fresh repository. Like that was, I think it was like stated in the pipeline script to do that. And then it went ahead and git remote, like it was initializing the repository. And then after that, execute the script step. So there was a step in the script. So one of the step was Terraform versions, and then the version for Terraform was v1.13, and then it used Linux, AMD 64, and then the version of Terraform. So in the script, it was specifically stated that it should output the version of Terraform, and it update by downloading it from here, from this link that will look at right here. And then this is the script right here. So basically, if so there's a condition state, I would say condition, or yeah, a condition statement. If the region and the a default region is equal to, because we have a default region, it could be AWS, like AWS, I would say, hold on. Did I just forget this? All right. So the default region could be EC2, like no, not EC2, but AWS 1, or maybe sorry. So basically, it could be the default region that was specified on a specific instance that we are working on, and then it could be did I just forget this? Nobody should just. I'll get this. I'll get it. Oh, wow. I'll leave that for now. Can't remember it.
What's that, Amara? What is that?
No, is the region, the default region. When you go to your AWS account, you have the
No,
region you can
good.
switch from.
You don't have to say all of these things, you know.
All right. So I'm just gonna go to the key point, and then the script say that it's gonna make the parent directory, which is slash the root dot AWS, and then it's gonna print that access ID. It's gonna come down, remove the Terraform init. It's gonna initialize the resources that we,
Can you show the class where we passing that credential, the access key, the secret key that the script
yes.
we're gonna pull?
So I don't have the code, but basically it's either an AWS configure on our local system, so it's gonna be variabilized within our script.
No, it's putting in that from in the pipeline over there. We declare that in the pipeline because we cannot do it locally. If I were to do it locally, you won't have right now. You can trigger that pipeline and build successfully, right? That's the power
Yeah.
of automation. So I cannot run it locally and then you trigger it for it.
Okay, yeah. So the credentials is saved in a .aws/credentials.
Yeah, can you show where in GitLab is putting that from?
Where in GitLab.
So yeah, and anybody can help Amara.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this very quick. Go down to settings, CI/CD. Go to variable. I think it's right here.
Okay, so you see all of those?
Yeah, it's right here. I remember this.
Okay, those are the area. Anything about credentials, about keys is being pulled from in that file.
So just to
You
be
can
clear,
pull that.
yeah, just to be clear, I did this myself, so I remember exactly how I did it, and then as soon you talk about pulling it, because all of this is like you are verbalizing everything here, and then just verbalizing the script, and then when you run a pipeline, automatically it's already know that it have to pull it from here. So the AWS secret key, access key, the user, it could be root or the DNS name, the region, the access key, everything is going to be verbalized in your script, and then you have to declare it right here so that GitLab will be able to pull it from here.
Yep. All right. That's exactly what it's doing. Yeah.
And after that, it initialized the back end. It was successful because everything synced and everything was okay. There was no error. And then Terraform was successfully initialized like it states. And then there's a variable Terraform plan output. So this is the plan for that was mentioned in the script. This is what Terraform is going to be building right here. The public DNS, the public IP is going to output that, the
So
tag.
tell us, don't focus on those stuff. Tell us what is getting created in there.
Okay, we are creating a VPC security groups.
Oh, we are not creating VPC. What is being created on line 65?
Hold on, 65 resource. So the resource AWS instance.
So we are creating a web server.
Right. That's the name of the instance, right?
The name of the instance is called a web server. And
Right.
that has what we call attributes, right?
Right.
And those associated IDs, the AMI, as you see, the public DNS is over there, right?
Right.
The public IP is over there. The tag, what environment belongs to demo, right? The name is AB shoptree.web, right? The owner is Abraham Batwa Sr. The project is called what? AB Top Tree. All right. But then guess what's going to happen? In that plan, it's telling us that it's going to be destroying the public IP, and the public DNS. And you see the ram back to it,
Yes.
meaning you're
Right.
going to be destroying it. And then scroll down again, and on the next resource, and tell me what we're going to be creating.
So Terraform. So all of this is just the resource. Okay, web. We have the AMI the ARN. I don't know what that is. Associated public IP address.
They're going to be
So-
creating anything? Is it going to be creating it?
No, I think this is gonna just be used in the previous one because when it's creating it, you're gonna see the plus sign right here.
Just look right there. It says replace. It's going to
Yeah,
be
replace, right. So you
That's what
just
I'm
use
So, analyzing this whole plan. Scroll down, keep scrolling down. To everybody on this call, analyzing this whole plan. Is Terraform going to be provisioning, or it's going to be destroying? Can somebody tell me?
yeah, it will be both
Oh, sorry.
Like the only three thing in the world.
oh okay.
And a question, I said Terraform will be provisioning.
Okay, lead concept provisioning. Anybody else?
Yeah. So from the plan that I'm looking at, Terraform is gonna be provisioning, and it's gonna be replacing, and then it's gonna be destroying some resources.
So Terraform only go for, if you're going to provision, it go for provision. If you're going to destroy, it go for destroy. Overall, what's the plan analysis say?
It's gonna be creating provisioning.
For me, look, according to what I'm reading on line 84, it seems like it's gonna be destroying.
So who else?
So if you look at this AV, it has two stuff. It have one plan, zero to one to add, zero to change.
That's what I call Terraform going to be destroying.
Yeah.
Terraform going to be destroying the resources I add, and the default one, like I told you up there, will already be replaced, right? But Terraform, overall Terraform will be destroyed. The replacement is there. That's why you see that outcome to it. It's already going to be defaulted to replace, right? That's why you say must be replaced. If you scroll all the way up there, scroll up.
Right here.
Must be replaced. You see there?
Mm-hmm.
On line 86. So must be replaced mean it will destroy it, and then Terraform will go and create a replacement because it must be replaced. That was the algorithm. That was the logic that was set in the code that Terraform should do. But overall, Terraform will destroy that resource.
But if you look at it, it means Terraform is doing two things, but just at a time. Terraform is gonna firstly destroy the previous resource.
It is doing two things, but it's defaulted already to replace out of the destroy. But the goal here is Terraform pipeline destroy need to be run, and then it will default to that replace all of those stuff that are going to be destroyed. So you are part of the right, it's going to be replacing because when it destroy, it's going to come back, right? Because that's what the code says. Terraform will also be bringing it back to life. So definitely it's called what? Replace. Yeah. So if you read the plan will tell you say 1 to add, 0 to change,
Destroy.
right?
Yeah, 0 and 1 to destroy.
Yeah.
Right.
So are we all satisfied with the plan? Then we can go ahead and execute it. So you can go to the pipeline and execute it. So why do you think that it did not automatically go on to execute? Can somebody tell me why? And we have to click on it to do it.
Yeah, so I can go ahead. I think I can try that. Basically, the reason we don't deploy manually is because what if you see when we click here now we have the apply because it wasn't specifically stated in our script that okay have to deploy. So our CI/CD pipeline just follow the script or the command that we give it through our code that we wrote and that we push to our CI/CD pipeline. So basically, if we just declare that, okay, after build stage, you go to after test build, you're going to deploy automatically, it's going to deploy. But now it was specifically stated in our script. That's why we have a manual deploying, because it was stated in the script that we have to deploy manually.
Why, Georgie?
Are we deploying or destroying?
So
Apply, sorry. Is it
yeah,
apply? I
this
was like,
this is
apply, sorry.
this is my question, right? No,
Yeah,
apply is what we call provisioning, right? Because that's the word. You right, Amara, and George is asking if we are deploying or we're gonna be destroying. We're gonna be destroying. But what I want for you to understand is why we did not just leave the pipeline as it is to automatically continue to the end. That's my question. And Amara, you did not give me an answer.
I think
We
I think for me, I would say it didn't go to the end because if we were destroying, it just needed just like the way a second authentication. Like I mean, for example, if you're trying to delete a document from on your desktop, sometimes are you sure you want to delete just to make sure that you sure what you want to do?
like
Yes. But George,
like
Uh,
George said, for me,
1 second, guys. 1 second. Let me
okay.
recognize email because email put it here up. You remember that our class policy, right? So I allowed George to talk because you already gave it. But George,
uh-huh.
Okay, so I think
1 second, guys. 1 second.
okay.
All right. Yeah. So as I was saying, George, the answer you gave me, I will take it in some area, but that's not the answer I want.
Okay.
I want the answer to be technical.
Okay. Let me
And email
respond.
is up.
Yeah, okay. So just to add on the analogy that George gave regarding the desktop. So this is like a safe state or after all of the processes are being done. Because what if we had an error in stage 2? So if we had just done it automatically, which means we are even going to be pushing error and that's not going to come out rightfully. So we have to make sure that all of the codes are coming out successfully. We verify that before doing the final push because this button is basically here for a safe state. We can either like go back and make some changes before we do the final. But if we just automate it right after all of this running, if we had any issue in between, it would just like run out and that would be a problem. That's what I think.
Anybody else? Thank you,
Can,
Emmanuel.
can I talk?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Emmanuel said, for me, we need human control to verify, to check before we hit the apply. We have to double check the codes before we
So,
hit the apply button.
so in other words, guys, what will we say that we need to do that needs to be done here? Should we say approvers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember our SDLC life cycle, right?
Mm.
When it comes to CI/CD, it's E to E. But I told you that there is always step for human intervention. You understand? Because our plan has to be copied and put in your pull request. You understand? Your Terraform plan has to be copied and put in your pull request so that it can be approved. Before you can see your merge request approved before we get to go ahead to hit the button to run your apply. So you guys said it. Everything you said is on course, but I said partially because what I just wanted to hear is it has to go through the approval state. Right? It has to go through the approval state. Because the reason why we left it at this is because it has to be approved before apply can be run. So now we view the code, we took Amara plan. Amara, go back to the plan. So you see, you can copy that plan where it says Terraform will apply the following changes. You can copy all of those plans. And then when you create a merge request, you paste that plan in it. Guess what? When I go to review this, I look at your plan, then I go and look at what the code is supposed to do. You understand? And I'll say, okay, Amara plan is okay because this pipeline will be destroying, but it will default to replace. It's okay, so I can approve. Guys, when it comes to approval, it's not just you clicking on that button to say approve. You have to read that code and make sure that the code is doing something. That's why even when you can read the code, we still does not believe that because you can read the code, everything's going to be okay. We still need our other integration tools to make sure we produce a clean code. So I just want to say today, you guys, when the same codes, I mean, everything is right that you said, but it's partially because the key word was the approval phase. So are we all okay that the code now can be applied? So Amara, you can hit that apply button. If we all okay. Then click on it.
Yeah, I already click on it.
No, click on it. Let's see what is happening in real time.
Oh, right.
So the first stage there, when you are explaining your code, is the agent, right?
Mhm.
The agent pick up the job, and the agent is building the job. The agent is resolving the secret. So all that agent, everything that Weki call agent is nothing but a Docker container. If you look in it, you see what I call Docker plus machine executor, right?
Right.
That's a Docker container. And the question to you, did we specify that our agent should be built in a Docker container? Our agent should come from a Docker container. Did we specify anything like that in our code? We have this code, right? So we know exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. And I will show you that. So,
Yeah, it was.
guys, apply is being successful. So what do we expect? We deploy, right? How do we test? George, can you tell us how do we test?
Say that again.
How do we test? Since we have applied now, boom, our deployment is okay. How do we test? To be convinced that what we build, we can see it.
If we have an IP address, we can log because we deploy a web server, right? So we
Yeah.
can use public IP address and browse that.
Okay. So can you're not in front of your system, you don't have the ability right now to go in there. So can you tell Amara how to test? Where to take that IP address and hit it?
Okay. If we deploy to if this something would deploy to an AWS server, he will have to go down to the server in AWS and get the public IP from that server and be able to launch and be able to browse
Okay, good.
207.
Kosi,
Yes, sir.
do you think Amara needs to go to AWS to get that IP?
No, I think we get it here at the
It's
line,
right in front of you, Joy. That's exactly
yeah,
what I wanted Joy to tell me.
line 66. The URL
From
is at
64
line
to
64.
66.
Yeah, you can
Those are
copy
the
it and
testing
paste it to
URL there, Josh.
Now what?
his
66?
navigator.
At 64 to 66, you have the
Oh,
URL.
yeah. I see the public. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't use
Yeah.
public.
So, Amara, could you kindly click on the URL, the HTTP URL?
Yeah, I do see it. It even put it from AWS. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Okay.
And then, so this is what we deploy, right? Right? So
Yeah.
now
That's
we
what we
see it.
deployed.
Exactly.
For once, I've actually cheered.
Any question to this, guys? Any question? Because I want somebody to change this application around for us into something different for us to deploy.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yep. What is? Go ahead.
Okay, so what did we have to let me go back here and find that real quick.
For once, I've actually.
It's my GitLab. So if we see here, why did we have to add this variable right here to make sure that GitLab is able to access our secret and access key? Why don't you just put it somewhere other than this GitLab here? Like maybe in our
When
code. Why do
okay,
we have to variabilize everything in GitLab?
that's a bad practice. Do not never. That means to do not. Let me not use two double A words. Don't ever put any credential in your code. You're going to be a bad developer. You understand? When it comes to credentials, remember I said in one of your interviews, right? How do we manage credential?
All right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we say something called credential manager, right? Or what?
Right.
Okay. So NNCI/CD pipeline has a VOT where we manage sensitive data. And when it comes to sensitive data, credentials are sensitive data, right? So in GitLab or in any CI/CD tools, we declare credentials within the sensitive data setting, which is under the CI/CD scope in GitLab. That place is designed specifically to declare our credentials that we variabilize in our code. Your code should only be for variables. Is you have the ability to pull that physical credentials from GitLab. You cannot hard code it. You cannot declare it in your code. You're going to be a bad developer if you do that. It's going to crash. And if it does, testing going to pull it up. Someone will pull it up and say, oh, you have a bad code. You cannot develop good code. So the best part is for us to use either external credential management or declare our credentials. The reason why we don't do it in our local, right? Because if you want to centralize your version control system, if I were to declare this in my, if I were to declare this in my local, you won't be able to access this. I'm going to be the only person to do it, right? But then we have to centralize it or decentralize it in a way that anybody can be able to access. That's why you're even able to access the credentials, right? So the best practice is do not hard code in your code. Do not use any physical raw credentials in your code. Always variabilize and declare your credential using the standard source, which in this case we're using GitLab. Is that clear?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
So in enterprise, they also do it the same, or they use VOT, HashiCorp VOT. They store the credentials there, and then they use what we call connection string API. They use it to talk to, they put it, they refer the API in the code, and the API will be able to go in HashiCorp and say, you're giving that credential for us. Then you put it in the code. Understood, guys?
Yeah, so second question. Now, GitLab has our credentials like where it's gonna be deploying. How does it log into our server and do the job that we specifically stated in our pipeline?
I should do, right? So go back to the same credentials file. Go back to it. Go back there. There is something we're saying I should do.
Yeah,
You actually use?
yeah, it's right here.
Oh.
You see, there is something called access key. AWS secret access key.
Right here.
Yeah, and then you see AWS secret key.
Access ID, just access
Secret.
key.
No, AWS secret access key, right?
Yeah.
Do we all know why that two credential is important?
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, do we all know? I know Amara. I don't want only Amara to be talking. Do we all know why that two access key is important? I mean, these two credentials are important.
The secret and the access key.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important because those are the keys that it's like almost like I would say like a authentication key that will allow you to connect to your server. I mean your GitLab.
No, not for GitLab.
Or what the thing is here, or your AWS and server that you created.
So not for AWS server. So to log into AWS, remember, when you log into AWS, you not log into AWS as a root, right? Root is the person who owns the organization, right? I can log into AWS anytime. But if you, George, want to log into AWS, you must go in as an IAM user, right?
Yeah.
And then as an IAM user, what the key things that define you? Your access and your secret key, right?
Yeah.
Those are what we give power to. Remember, we gave power to that guy called Amara, right? And generated that access and secret key for him so that he can use it to log into AWS. So that our pipeline can use it to log into AWS. That's why I told you, when you create access and secret key, do not share it with anybody, right? Because when you share it with people, they can use that to access your system. So because we share it with our CI/CD pipeline, that's why GitLab is able to log into AWS. And then when GitLab log into AWS, GitLab say, I'm in AWS. What region am I supposed to be in? Then we declare the region there. Do you see the region over there, Amara?
Yep.
Then GitLab say, okay, I'm supposed to be in East 2 or East 1. When you get there, you say, what server am I supposed to be logging in? Then we declare the server over there. When you look over there, you'll see EC2 host. Do you see it there?
Right here. Yeah.
We declare it there. And then we say, what method should I use? We call it the SSH method. So then we declare it. We say SSH user, EC2 SSH private key. We declare over there. Remember that PEM key we created? Called cloud GitLab DevOps user PEM, something like that, right? That is the
Right.
key. And you know that you cannot log into a server without that key, can you?
Nope.
Okay, so that's why we declare the keys there. So you grab that key plus the user, right? It has enough that you can log in, then you log in into your server. And then you say, what they told me to do. They told me to deploy this. Then you start to deploy. All of those things happening in less than 2 seconds or 3 to 5 seconds. You understand? Are we all clear, guys? If you have questions, please ask.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Why do we have the SSH port over there? EC to SSH port.
E to S port? Yeah,
The
because
EC
it has to use when you SSH, what port do you use?
22.
Yes. So you have to define 22.
Okay.
What?
All right, guys. Any question?
Yeah, I just want to clarify my thought.
Mm-hmm.
So these labels for the credential,
Mhm.
we are declaring them in our code, right? Locally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then once we connect to our GitLab, and then it also connects to our AWS server, and it actually syncs in to pull those credentials. Is that correct?
No, the reason I'm not going to say you're correct because I want you to re-scripting the thought of label. I want you to change that word label around to the actual word.
I'm coming.
Amara, go back there so the man can see it. When you see it, then he'll know what he's supposed to, the name he's supposed to call it.
Is it right here?
Okay, so these variables.
Exactly. Those variables. Yes. So in the core, we we define the variable, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
then
when we mentioned the region,
exactly.
the secret key.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay, I remember.
And then it log into this area and pull the actual value. Amara, can you click on default region? Can you click on edit? Click on edit.
Yeah,
You see that
default.
pen? Or you see the pen? And there's something there like a pen. Click on it. Yeah. So what's the value you see there?
US is one.
Okay.
Yes, it's okay.
So they go for that value and pull it. It can only pull it by the help of what, guys? Variables. Right?
Okay.
And what is the variable for a year? Coda. Coda, can you call the variable to us?
What's the question again?
Can you call the name of the variable to us? The name of the variable that gave birth to US is 1. Can you call that name to us? Can you read that name to us? I know I caught you off guard, but that's what I love.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh.
All right, let me bring somebody to help you. Lincoln, are you there?
Yeah.
I just got back here AB or not. I don't know that question.
Yeah, so the question is, the variables that gave birth to US is 1. Can you read the variables to us?
That's what I said, or I'm not in a position to answer that right now. Just got back
I
here
think
trying
that's the
to
same.
catch away.
I think that's the same thing, right? The same US East one or not? Or AWS default region.
Oh man, you call anything need to me and start saying I think.
Yeah,
Read it to me and start saying you think.
yeah.
read it to us and start saying you think.
That's AWS default region, sir.
Oh, read it to us. And when you read it, The real technical way.
Okay. I don't know how to read it technical way.
You can read it the technical way because you've seen it written the technical way. So read it the technical way.
So
Let me call your backup. Let me call somebody to back you up. Kosi,
Yeah.
can you help Koda to read that the technical way? Koda called the name for it though. Well, when he read it the technical way, can you help him to read it the technical way?
It's the region.
Eh?
The region.
No, it's not a region. Koda called it. Koda says AWS default region. But can you read it the technical way?
No, the technical way, I don't know it.
US East 1.
Who do we have? George.
Yeah.
Can you help to read that to us the technical way? The only way that is acceptable, that's what we call the technical way.
It should be US East 1. Default.
I said the variables.
Oh.
Read the variables or the technical way.
Default region.
No. Let me call Sherman. Amara, I know your hand up. I will get to you. Sherman?
Yes, sir. So you say we're looking for a technical name for AWS default region?
No. The variables that you see are when you read it to us, the technical way, the only way that is acceptable.
Acceptable in terms of what?
In terms of the standard, how you write variables.
Okay. AWS underscore default underscore
Yes.
region.
Thank you.
Exactly.
AWS underscore default underscore region. That's the only acceptable way. Remember, if you don't use underscore, it cannot pull anything. Then it's not a variable. If a variable is not declared like this, it's not a variable. You understand, guys? If a variable is not declared like this, two ways. A data sum in your code, but in your external credential library, the variable need to be declared. That's what we call it the key. And then the value is what? What that variable is giving birth to. It's called what? US East 1. But even when you're writing the US East 1, it's called what? US dash East dash 1. Guys, these are the coding templates. I mean, the templates or the language that you need to understand. AWS underscore default underscore region. You understand? And why are we calling it this way? Amara, can you go to the code? Go to the code and tell the class why we're calling that variable up that way. So we can all see the.
You mean from a local machine or?
It's in the
Okay.
repository.
Yeah.
Code is in the repo.
Let's see if we can.
No, not there. Go to code, code, and go to repository. And then go to the branch that we're working in.
Will be variable.
Yeah. Open that.
So what are we trying to, what am I trying to show here? Like
that variable that you saw that been declared, where is it
AWS
referenced in the code? I want you to show it to them.
or the AWS underscore region.
Yes, but that's not the variable. The variable that declared in the code, I want you to show it to them.
So I would say this is right here.
No, that's not it there.
Okay, let me scroll down a little bit.
It is right there, but it's been commented out.
So if it's commented out,
Come
then
down,
how
come down. Yeah, it's all the way down.
It's there.
Right here.
Yeah.
So
But
do you see that name?
yeah, I see it. Underscore region right here.
Okay. You know what will comment it out?
No, I do not know.
Because we declare in two places. So the standard say declare in one place, and then we went and declare in GitLab, right? So that's why we have to comment out in Terraform there. So you see that same exact name?
Right. Interesting.
And then go back to the code. Go back one step. And then open what can I say you should open? Open gitlab.cr. Yeah. So open gitlab.cr and keep scrolling down. Okay, you see right there, right there. Scroll up a little bit, scroll up a little bit. Okay. All right. So if you look there, so tell me, what do you see? Do you see that AWS default region on LAN 21?
Yeah, right here.
LAN 21. You see that?
Right.
And then we declare access key. So do you see the access key variable too as well? It is there.
Right here.
So yes. Okay. I just thought to show that to you guys. So it's something. Let's go ahead.
Whenever it's already declared in the code, in the script, or in our CI script, we can declare in or let's say we already declare in GitLab, we cannot declare it in our script, right? Because it's already declared in two places.
So what you do, what you see in our code is not declaring, right? You are referencing the value, but because the value you cannot reference the actual value, you have to call the variable. So you call in the variable in that code. You say, okay, that variable that I'm calling is technically that you're calling US East 1, right? So that variable now represent technically US East 1, but where does that value come from? To get fetched in there during runtime, it is being taken from GitLab.
Yeah, well, I was asking about the AWS underscore region. That was what I was asking about.
In the variable file in Terraform or in this code?
No, in a variable.tf file.
Oh yes, we cannot declare 2 times.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about.
Correct. We cannot declare 2 times. Any question, guys?
So I want to have some clear view about it. Last time when we were writing the code, we declared a variable on in a YAML file when you are working in VSC. So as we push the code through GitLab, the variable that we see in GitLab actually is the same variable that we declare on that YAML file when we are working on VS Code.
Yeah, so everything we did on VS Code is what you see in the repo right now.
Okay, cool.
Yes, so that's the same thing you see on the repo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, that is it. Is this all making sense, guys?
Yes, for me, yeah.
I mean, I think for me, I think it making sense because at least you're taking the time to go through the code and explain some of these things because initially we saw the code running, but we didn't know all the details, what tasks they were performing. So I think going back and watching this video, I mean, over and over will give a better understanding of what exactly that is being done, So I think it's helpful.
Exactly. Yep. So right now, if we break something, you know how to fix it, right? Because at the next project I'm going to show tomorrow.
It depends on our ability to read the code.
We'll bring it more.
No, you guys.
We'll try.
Because I want to ask that question because we have a code in front of us here. I think it's a code for a website. So I don't know if some of us are
Not the website code, though. Not the website code. The actual code that gave birth to everything you see on the screen, right? When you hit the IP, I'm not concerned about that code.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
Because the debugging of that code point to Terraform, right?
Yeah.
But the infrastructure is the Terraform. That's your infrastructure right there. That's what is giving birth to the resources that deploy in that code. You as a devil engineer, that's where your responsibilities last.
Okay.
To debug those areas.
Okay. So now how to read this code and understand it every line by line. All what is right here, we have to understand it before we can be able to, debug the code if there is a bug inside that code.
Yep.
Okay.
That's where you guys got to spend 2 hours behind your system every other day so that you can go over these things and say, okay, why are we running this? Why is this important? Okay, then you look it up, right? You read it, you say, oh, I see. Then you break it down to your understanding, your level. And when you come in the class now, you prepare to ask questions, things that you did not understand during your research or your practice, right? And then you get response, you get good answer for it, you put it in your note, then you become a pro. You say, I'm done with this one. Anybody ask me this one, I can say it. Because you are not to memorize these things. When you memorize these things, you will go crazy. To be honest with you, you'll wake up some morning and be talking by yourself. Yeah. This is the reason why you see developers or programmers, their life activities is not as normal as a real person. So all of these things, we got to graduate from it. You don't memorize these things. Imagine you got work to do, right? You got work to do. You got your family to take care of. You got things to do. And then you start to memorize code. No, just know the concept. Yeah. So I want us to create our future branch and push it to this repository. And I need 1 minute for everybody to do this. So I want to check it out right now. So we want to build our feature branches for our project. Everybody create your feature branch at the end of your last name. All right. Create right now and push it to this repository. I want to look it up and be able to see everybody's feature branches.
Which repository?
So the one that we're working in, the HTTP.
IC?
Yes. For those of you that are not in front of your system, you don't have to do it. Tomorrow you can do it. All right, Amara, can you run that destroy? Okay, let me see the branches. I'm seeing
You want me to run the destroy from the
it's right there. Click on that destroy step.
manual action? Okay.
Click on it and see what's happening in real time. I love when you trigger the pipeline. I like to see what is happening. What do you see there?
It's plan 1 to destroy. Plan
So
0, add 0. It did.
okay, so you see there. So what do you observe?
Observe that.
What was the overall status of that pipeline? It described it described that resource, right?
Yeah, everything. Everything was destroyed.
Can you click on that link so you can see what's gonna happen?
Given continuous ready.
I'm not without seeing that screen.
Should be right here.
You're not still seeing it.
I think I gotta close this for a sec. Oh, God.
Is that it?
No, this is it right here.
Okay. What do we see there, guys?
Can reach this page.
Aye. Can somebody tell us why?
Resources has already been destroyed.
Yeah, because we destroy it.
Exactly. So do we see the power of Terraform? It can tear down the resources. It can provision. So run the apply state. Go back and run the plan in the apply state. I'm not seeing anybody branches in here though. I'm checking
So
in here.
we'll push
Did you
the
refresh?
branch in EIC HTTPD AWS. That's where we'll push it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you refresh? I push mine.
All right. Likon, did you just push yours? I see Sherman. Sherman, I see you.
Check it there. You don't see mine?
I saw yours, but
Yeah.
I'm seeing yours, but I want to know if It's the actual Lincoln that's talking here.
Oh, Lincoln get manipulated then.
Okay, so I see Lincoln, I see feature slash Lincoln here. So I see Sherman.
Can you see mine?
No, I'm not seeing you, Amara.
Okay, let me try again.
Mine is coming. I'm pushing it.
I think this mine right here.
Click there. That's it 2 weeks ago.
This is 26 seconds ago, right? Up here.
Oh, okay. No, okay. My bad.
Okay. Chris, sorry. Evie,
Yep.
I got a question.
Yep. What is it?
So, I remember we literally did verbalize everything in our GitLab. Is it like we can use .env or we have to use the GitLab, secret vault?
Where are we using .env?
I mean, if we can use .env to store our, our sensitive keys.
.env is environment variable. You understand? If you store things in environment variable, Amara, you are storing it on your own system.
Yeah,
If you're using export,
Mhm.
you can export things in your environment variable, right? And you have to store it in your own system. But GitLab specifically define CI/CD variables, right? Every variables that you're going to use in your CI/CD, you have to pass it in the variable section within GitLab. You understand? That does not mean that it is applicable for all applications. No. If this were enterprise, right? If we are using or we want to manage our sensitive data in extended source, we can use AWS Credential Manager. We can use HashiCorp environment and HashiCorp environment variables, right? Because it's extended. And then we call the API, and then it can fetch up. We can pull all of our values from there. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are areas, but specifically for GitLab, the reason why we are using this is because it is designed, meaning to deploy our GitLab CI/CDs credentials. I mean, to help us pull our CI/CD credentials. That's why you see that it's on a CI/CD. But it's not like the only place we can declare it. But when you declare it using environment variable, you are only limiting it to your system. And that can happen. For instance, right? Go to your VS Code. Are you in your VS Code?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. Okay, good. So do echo $, env, and hit enter. Let's see. Why your environment variable is not coming? Maybe that might be related to another view. Do print env. Oh, env.
.env.
Space. No space.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Yeah. You see all of those areas, all of those stuff you see there?
Mm-hmm.
They are environment variables. You understand? It's only specific to your environment, to your local system.
Okay.
So if you use export and export something, you will see it right in there. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You will see it right in there. So to export any environment variable, you use the export command. So you can use the export command equal, and then the variable that you want to export, and then will export to your system environment variable. Then you can call it from there in your code. But you cannot do it when you push this code into a remote repository, Amara, it will fail, right? Because the credentials is being fetched from your system, and your system does not have any firewall rules that connect it from your repo yet, or any network connectivity apart from your access key, right? So when it comes to credentials, it needs an API to talk to. It needs that integration, or it needs that connection string. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Thanks.
So are we all in this class here okay with branching strategy? That should be the next topic I should cover as part of our review, branching strategy. Are we okay with the word branching strategy?
For me, yeah. For me.
We know the meaning of branching strategy. We know how to work with branches. We know everything, right? We know the standard, right?
For me, yeah.
If you don't know it, if you have question, please raise your hand and ask. Branching strategy. All right, I get it. Everybody know. So we all here know again the Git basic refresher for GitLab, the Git basic command that we use, the feature branch and the development Git workflow, Git pull, Git sum, semantic versioning. We know all of those things, right?
I have a documented file for that. If anybody want to read about that, it's literally everything that you can read about Git. I can just share with everybody everything.
Yeah, please share with me. Yeah.
So basically, everything about Git, tool customizations, everything.
Please
So
do that, Amara. I
yeah.
would appreciate that. You got my email, or you just?
I have the PDF already. Let me see if that's the correct PDF. Okay, I have the PDF. I'll just share
So
this.
just drop the PDF in our WhatsApp chat, then we can get download.
Okay, all right, no problem. I can do that.
That's good. So we all know about pull request, MR, merge request, peer review, approvals, code quality gate. We know how to do those things, right? It's not an issue.
The basic thing is sorry. The basic thing for me is like we have acquired the basic knowledge. Everything may not come to mind right now, but if you are presented with those and you are just kind of somebody just kind of trickle you or trickle something, you get to know it right away. Or like constant review of the recording and all that, for me, that kind of brings back those memory very fast. And that's the major thing is just get the basic idea. Because if we were to say, right now I get it up here, I wouldn't tell you that, but I get the basic knowledge. And when I see that, yeah, I can navigate through that.
Okay. All right. So we know what a merge request is. We know exactly what approval stage is. Those are all part of collaboration, right? And then .gitlab CR.yaml file. Do we know what this file does?
Yeah, good you brought about it. I have a question about that YAML file. I don't have yet or nothing about it.
So the YAML file is our pipeline. It's what defines our pipeline. It's what defines the stages of our pipeline. So let me share my screen, Amar. You can stop sharing your screen.
Okay, all right.
So Likon,
Sir, I'm here, listen.
so if you look here, right, Likon, you see this file? You see
Yeah,
my screen? You see the GitLab.gitlab CI YAML?
yeah.
All right. Do you see the stages here? You see the stages? Validate, plan, apply, and describe. All right. So remember that. You see the pipeline? It's because of that file that architect this whole thing that you see here. You see here?
Okay.
It's because of that file that architect it. So it defines our pipeline. You see here? So in there, you saw it written in code, right?
Yeah.
But in here, you see architect in real time, right? So meaning the code will go through the validation state, the code will go through the plan state, the code will go through the apply state, and will go through the describe state. Understood?
Yeah.
So that's what defines our pipeline. It defines the stages of our pipeline. It defines the variable that we're declaring. It defines the default before after script that we're going to use in our pipeline. And then the validation state, this is what you're going to be doing. Terraform will validate. The plan state, Terraform will plan and get the output to us. And then in the part of the plan, Terraform will plan the artifact, right? It will path it. It will all of these things is happening. Now we're going to go to the artifact and see what we can locate that artifact. You guys will see it over there. And then we go to the apply state, right? You see what Terraform will do? It will apply. You see? And then we go to describe state, Terraform will describe. So this is exactly what is happening in your beacon. Somebody please mute, guys. So this is what happening in there. So build artifact. As you see your artifact, you see your artifact here. Those are your artifacts. The package that we built, that what we call artifact. Do you see your artifact? Those were the package that we built. So you can download your artifact, you can open the folder, you can delete your artifact, like, yeah, I can click here and say delete. I can clear everything, right? But I don't want to do that. So those are the artifacts. Next.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yep.
You're looking at the artifact for the YAML file. I want to clearly understand how did we run our code in this for it to run in these 4 stages. How did it happen? How did we do that? Because we just have the code that defines those stages, or is it automatically recognized kind of like lost in between there? How did we, because we open a file or we open a web page, right? How the code of the web page, how did we run it inside of these 4 stages?
Okay, that's a good question, right? So first of all, the 4 stages that you saw in the architecture, this is the 4 stage, right? So whenever you do this, declaratively, it gets designed in GitLab, right? That's what we call IAC, infrastructure as a code, right? We declare it and then happen.
Good question. If I can still record, can you go up a little bit? Okay, so we created an array for the stages, right? So we mentioned these 4 stages here. Okay, which this should basically did you basically tell us that okay, we have 4 stages to run, because almost like we are listing things, right? Okay, and then we now bring in automation. So can you just explain the code to me? Yeah, because I see this array and then the 4.
Okay,
steps,
so this is in the array, right? It defines the 4 stages of the pipeline according to Terraform IAC. So it validates the pipeline, you plan it, it apply the scroll. What is it planning? What is it validating? The resources, right? That Terraform is provisioning. You understand that? The resources that Terraform is provisioning. What is the resource that Terraform is provisioning? Like I told you, GitLab.GitLab CI define your pipeline. This is just defining your pipeline. You understand? And then it defines each of those stages, validate. A script will run, Terraform will validate, plan. A script will run for Terraform to plan and output, right? Apply. A script will run for Terraform to apply. Allow failure, we say no, we don't want it to fail. When it fails, Terraform should not completely apply. That's what it means. And then Terraform apply should be what? Auto approve with the TF plan. We declare everything destroy. Allow failure for destroy, we say no. It should fail automatically. That's what we said is set E, right? And then it should show in the workspace. That's what we define in the Terraform workspace in the Terraform state. And then it should based on all of those three states, right? Plan, before, destroy. So in here, when we define these things in our pipeline, we have set up our pipeline. But where will this be executing against? Our actual resources that we are deploying. Where are the resources? Emmanuel, these are the resources. Terraform main.tf, right? You see here? If you look here, we got one resource in here. And what is the name of the resource? Web, right? This web server that we're provisioning. You see this? This is it. Then we output it. We say we provision premium output, premium the public IP, premium the public DNS, and the URL, which it did, right? And then we say, before you do it, run the Terraform provider. It did. Now, when the resources get provisioned, it's deploying an EC2 instance. You understand? And in that EC2 instance, it should be able to go in there and deploy that application. Where is that application located? I believe that's your question, right? That application is here. You see the user data.sh?
Mm-hmm.
This is the application.
Right.
Yeah, do you see here? This is the application. So
Okay.
it's this application now that we're taking in this script and then calling it to deploy it. But it will never happen unless these resources get deployed before that user will go in here now. And what is the user? It's the EC2 user. You understand? That have all that power. It will go in here now. And then when you go in here, the first thing you're going to do, Sherman, you're going to be running this command to update that server.
Okay.
The second thing you're going to be running, the install Apache, to install Apache web server, right? The second thing you're going to be doing, you're going to be enabling the Apache web server. Then the third thing, you're going to, because the Apache web server, meaning the directory that store the web services is what we call var www.html. So you're going to go in here and then take the code. What is the code? It will only take the code when a directory is provisioned in the temp file, right? So this is the code. You see this code? You see this code here?
Yeah, this is the code.
Welcome to your deployment work. In a way, you can see up there when we provision it.
Right.
So it's going to take the code now from in the SRC file. You see here? Because this is the name that we give it. And then it's going to what? Take the code and put it in the HTML file. So it took the code from here. If you look down here, right? It took the code from here. It said for the value within here, the HTML index, do call the variable, and then copy everything from here, and then put it in this.
Okay.
And then the next one say deploy to index.html and index.html as per your request, right? So I am giving the permission now called what? Install -m, and I'm using this permission within the source code. This is where my code is, right? Remember I told you, right? And then this is where I'm taking it. And I'm putting it where? In here.
Source and destination.
Exactly. And I'm putting it in here. That's why I say /index.html. And then the ownership for Apache Web Server, I'm giving the ownership called Chiun, right? This is your linear start. Chiun, www. And I'm giving that ownership to it. And after I'm done, then I reload the Apache by using systemctl reload Apache. And then the script should run while the echo deploy. It should give me this command. And when that happens now, then the deployment works successfully. But none of these things happen unless the infrastructure is provisioned, unless the resources are provisioned. Before that man go in here, that user go in here and start to do his work. That's how we are able to see that artifact up there today.
All right, thank you. Got it.
Yeah. Any more question, guys?
Maybe before you go, when you're done, I think the AWS has been taking some money from my account. I want you also go there so we can get that set up, please.
Yeah, so anytime AWS is taking money for you guys' account, remember, I told everybody use ABDA AWS account. before we created your individual's account, right? So is that individual account AWS taking that money from? So call AWS customer service and submit a case and tell them, say, I am a student, right? This is what I have done before in the past, when I was doing my bootcamp training, right? I am a student. I'm doing this for my personal project. They're going to waive that money and put it back on your card. But then they're going to close that account. They will ask you if you want to close that account. They're going to close it. Because technically, if you stay using that account, they will be charging you. Even ABDA account, technically ABDA pay almost about $800 per week. Sometimes the bill go to $800 just for those EC2 servers. So why about you individual? They're going to be taking more money from you, especially if you have resources that you have not described in there. So go back in that AWS account that you provision in your name. You'll see some resources running there. You got to tear it down, man. And then call AWS for them to be able to tell them that you are a student. Yeah. If you don't do that, they will keep taking money from your account.
All right, I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah. Make sure you do it. Make sure you call them and do it. Submit a case with them. Even if you call them, pick up, go on the website and submit a case with them. To submit AWS case, let me see if I can show you guys here. Let me see if I can show you how to submit a support case for AWS. It should be somewhere here. Right here. Okay, you see the question mark? You see the question mark here? You click here. You see support center. You click on support center. Oh, you see create case, right?
Mm-hmm.
You create a case with them. And the case should fall under a common building. You see it? Yeah. The case should fall there. And then you tell them the reason.
You're taking money every time.
Yeah, AWS got plenty of money. AWS is almost $1 trillion company now.
Wow.
Yeah. People got Arab money. All right, guys, I don't want to take much of your time again. We have achieved what we needed to know for today, and I believe that these things is very, very good for you guys. It will help to sharpen your mind, expose things, expose your mind to the actuality of GitLab, the functions, things that you need to know, CI/CD pipeline steps, the processes, and all those things. Remember, DevOps is a process. DevOps is a culture, is a process. So all of these things, you have to know how you follow the engagement process to get things done as a DevOps engineer. I hope that helps you well, right? That was good. So tomorrow, we're going to deploy that application tomorrow. And then we're going to make sure, we deep dive into that. And once we deploy it, then we'll do our final review on DevOps engineering. Then we'll say bye-bye. Then we go to Terraform. I know you guys will be excited to do Terraform. And even you guys are learning a lot about Terraform.
After you ask a question about Terraform that we don't know, we're going to learn it now.
Terraform. That's what they call it.
The past video, have you uploaded it into onto
Yes, the past video should be there. I know my developer was sick, but he should have uploaded it. So, but I will check on the website. But just check there, just in case if you got it, don't see it, let me know. Yeah, but it should be there. Terraform. You guys will love Terraform. When I was doing my bootcamp, I saw I completed Terraform and now I'm gonna check and see I can get job. That's what they call RAC. infrastructure as a code. But you guys making progress, man. We're making progress. All right. Let's stick to this. We are making progress. We'll take pay one day, very soon, right? We're all gonna take pay.
Hey,
Yeah,
better get soon. See, the struggle will get paid one day.
I know, right? This couple will get paid one day. Yeah, so that hey, we'll get paid one day. One day. Some of them started doing anything way back with it. Nobody knew that your people addresses were going to be changed from this place to another place. You know, from this one to another one. We know that we're going to find ourselves in a condition wherein, you know, by the grace of God, we'll get up every day and thank God, thank you for the life, and then for the job that we got, right? Yeah. Yeah. So let's continue that path. Remember, nothing good come easy, right? There's a sacrifice that we are making. So let's continue. It's a path to success, okay? Yeah.
The other day, AB, I saw your man on. I don't know whether you followed the man and he was discussing how they're trying to move to some, but he defined it just as trying to use technology to help with tax collection and something. So I was commenting on him. I said, we can provide you that, technology solution to do that. The how they call it, guy, Jala.
Yeah, Jala.
The man
Yeah.
will send it into today, shake it.
Yeah. But I'm not even sure if that actually got to that man.
Yeah, you could be right. Because you were talking about technology solution. You were talking about, somebody were talking about, tax collection to the various border who they're watching them, and other people carrying receipts still on the
But
street to
can
collect.
you find a way to call him?
I don't have his number. I don't have no direct link with him right now.
I will call my friend Cooper, pass away on Sekou Dukle. I will call him and ask for his number.
I know somebody who got direct contact. We speak with him all the time.
Oh, but then that's great, George.
Henry Kudi is a close buddy.
Oh yeah, like buddy. But yeah, you talk about it.
Yeah, Henry Kudi. Even Henry Kudi call him on multiple occasions while I was there. They talk for a long time.
But Georgie, can you hustle that number for us?
No, Georgie, you can sit